This week's tea is rooibos chai. I don't have any cake, but I do have a stroopwafel. I don't actually know how to pronounce that. I'm very sorry if you're Dutch and I've just butchered a word from your language. Anyway, they're delicious, and I will eat one at the end of the song. I know I forgot to do that with the babka last week. So this week I'm going to sing a song by Sam Cooke, and he was a singer-songwriter in the 60s. He was born in, I think, 37, in the 30s anyway, in Mississippi. He started off recording very commercial, very successful music that was appealing to white audiences. And then kind of towards the end of his life, he died ridiculously young, 33. He was shot in what was considered at the time a justifiable homicide, but from what I've read about it, doesn't seem justifiable at all. Seems like a great injustice. Anyway, he, towards the end of his life, started to hang out with Malcolm X. He became involved in the civil rights movement, and he wrote this song, A Change Is Going to Come, about civil rights. When I was in Memphis, I found myself standing, looking at a building and thinking, this looks so familiar to me. And all the hairs on my body and on my neck were on, sort of standing on end. And I just started crying, weeping by this building. And then I saw the sign and started to realise why I was so impacted. It was actually the hotel where Martin Luther King was shot. And I mean, I was moved by it sort of on like a subconscious level. And then when I realised what it was, I cried some more. And a lady came out of the Civil Rights Museum right next to it, sort of an African-American lady, wondering why there was this woman from England weeping by the side of the road. And she invited me into the museum, and I did go. And I literally spent probably about 3-4 hours walking through it, just crying. Just crying. I couldn't stop. I was actually quite hysterical. And it was just to be faced with that much injustice, to see it, you know, the chronology of it, from beginning to current injustices. And there were so many murders that went unsolved. No one cared. There was no recrimination. There was no justice for the families, for the victims. People just got away with it. And I couldn't believe how this could have happened. And not even that long ago, you know? I mean, it was happening in the 60s and it's still happening today. We all know why the Black Lives Matter movement is so important. So this song is so special, and it's not mine to sing. It was written by an African-American for African-Americans who were struggling in the civil rights movement. So a big part of me thinks it's kind of like a sacred song and it shouldn't be sung. But it also is a song that I listen to every time I'm depressed. And some of you will know I have bipolar. That diagnosis was formalised in summer, but I went just over a year ago to doctors about mental health concerns. And, you know, there are so many lyrics that he's written that are just everything I feel when I'm depressed. And so it's a song that really means a lot to a lot of people, but also means a lot to me personally. And I like to think, as a songwriter, I hope that he would be pleased that his song has transcended the barriers of race and culture and country and language even, and that it has reached so many people and applies to so many people. And so I'm singing it about my experience as a woman with bipolar, but also very aware of the history of the song and the importance of the movement that he was part of. I was born by the river they call the Thames, and just like that river I've been running ever since. change is gonna come when I go to the movies and I go out the town. It feels like my friends that don't want me dragging them down. Oh, it's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. And then I go to my father. I say, Papa, won't you help me please? But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there's been times I thought I couldn't last much longer, but now I know I'm able, and I'm getting stronger. Oh, it's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Yes, it will. So, yeah, you might have noticed I changed a couple of the lyrics just to make them a little bit more true for me. But yeah, all the credit goes to the amazing Sam Cooke for that song, and I hope you liked it. And now you get to watch me eat the stroopwafel with my tea. What more could you want? It's a biscuit, but with caramel in the middle. There's nothing else to say. I'm just having too much of a good time. I thoroughly recommend them. Yeah, this is where it's at. And they last forever. You can just keep them in your cupboard. If you're like me, I never used to be able to keep like packets of biscuits because I'd have to have the whole packet. But now that I can have biscuits every day, I'm kind of cool with having them in the house and not feeling the need to demolish them. Because I think there was something about if I just get rid of all the evidence, because my mum was so weird about food, she had so many food issues, so I was just always trying to hide the evidence of what I've been eating, and now I don't have to hide because I live on my own and I've given myself permission to eat whatever it is that I want. So yeah, I don't feel the need to have the whole packet. So if you are like me and you can have a whole packet of biscuits in your house, they're great because, you know, they can last ages and ages. So yeah, that's my recommendation for the day. I have to think about what cake I'm going to do next week. If anyone wants to bake me a cake and lives in the Hertfordshire area, let me know. I'll very happily eat it.